am not drunk. But let's get to the point of the video. People said to me, man, what would it have been like if Eazy E would have signed Tupac? Like, man, that would have been something. And I kept telling people, he almost did. Y'all don't know how he was close to signing Biggie and Tupac. It was very close. See, what you guys don't understand is people gonna say, man, this color is like 4 colors blended into one. It's blue, it's purple, it's orange, you know, it's a very expensive tie. That's what it means. But besides the point, we're getting off to subject here. Now, everybody's gonna say, well, he was already signed to Interscope. True, but you gotta remember this. At this point in time, Biggie wasn't really signed. Bad Boy didn't exist yet when all of this was going down. Now, thank you, Nitra, if you're a lady. Now, when all this was going down, Bad Boy didn't even exist yet. What happened was Tupac was coming out with Thug Life. And he was hanging out with Above the Law and all these guys that were in the group. Now, during this time, Tupac is talking about putting a movement together and his own group coming out. This is before the Outlaws. This was Thug Life. And he wanted to come out with Thug Life, but Thug Life was going to have its own label and going to be signed as another group. It wasn't going to be signed with Interscope. He wanted to have this through Priority, which Priority works with Ruthless Records. Ruthless Records wanted to distribute it themselves, but they ended up working on a deal on their own with Priority, cutting Ruthless Records out of the deal. This was sort of the problem between Ruthless and Priority, how they interfered so that they can get Ice Cube the same way they interfered and blocked Eazy E for getting with Thug Life. And Tupac wanted to bring Biggie into Thug Life. Biggie already told Pac, like, yeah, I'll ride with it. Because Biggie stayed with Tupac when he was in California. Biggie came to California and stayed with Tupac for a while. See, a lot of you guys didn't know. They don't teach you a lot about your hip-hop history. I don't have to go on YouTube and Google and all this crazy stuff. I can just sit here right here and tell it to you just like this. So I'm not reading nothing off Google or nothing. I'm telling you straight like it is. You're getting the truth behind hip-hop video live. Of course, that's what they all say, Jorge. Everybody say that when they don't believe, but it's the truth. So Biggie was gonna sign and go with Thug Life because he didn't think this thing with Puffy was gonna turn out to be no money behind it, because it was no money behind it at first. It was just Puffy believing that they were gonna get this done and it was all going to happen. And sure enough, Biggie like, man, I need some money, man, because this thing ain't working up. So he went out doing stuff with Puff and this and that. Then when Puffy gave him that check, like, shing, gave him a check, he was, oh, okay. This is real. But until then, he was talking about signing with Pac and going to do Thug Life and all that stuff. So he was keeping his doors open. He was looking like, look, Tupac is known. I can go hang out with Pac. I know somebody in the industry. So it made sense for him to do that. So by him joining, Biggie would have joined Tupac and Thug Life Eazy E would have signed Thug Life to Ruthless Records. He would have had Tupac and Biggie, Ruthless Records. Not as individual artists, but in the group. Tupac wasn't jealous of Bone Thugs and Harmony. He just knew it was interfering, Bone Thugs and Harmony was interfering with Thug Life. Because when he came out with Thug Life, then here comes Thuggish Ruggish Bone, and they blow up everywhere. And then the albums came out almost simultaneously, and people was getting confused when they hear Thug Life and not knowing if that was Bone Thugs or Thug Life. So when he did the box thing, the little interview, he was, we ain't no fake Thuggish Ruggish, no, we Thug Life. You know, that's what he was just saying. He was disrespecting Bone Thugs and Harmony. Because he was like, man, what is this? This is not us, but that was what people wanted to hear. And it actually hurt the sales of Thug Life because it was something new that came out of nowhere to the rest of the world on the mainstream, and people wanted to hear that sound. This is before the first of the month. This when the actual Thuggish Ruggish Bone song came out. It's the Thuggish Ruggish Bone. It's the Thuggish Ruggish Bone. So everybody's assuming like they're entwined. Some people are actually thinking this was the same dudes that was with Tupac. Because of the woman singing on the hook. And then you listen to I ain't got time, but then everyone is around, yeah. Bury me a G. Okay, Piper Boy Williams, I'm glad you don't. So you can have egg on your face. Go on your little Google and look it up and see if what I'm saying is incorrect. Tupac wanted to get Thug Life signed, but he didn't want to go through Interscope because Interscope wasn't interested in Thug Life. See, when Tupac did Thug Life, they were at a standstill with Tupac. They didn't want him to result. He had finally made some success on his second CD that was commercial success. And that's what they liked. Brenda Got a Baby did good in the neighborhoods, but nobody on the radio was going to play Brenda's Got a Baby. So when he wanted Shock and them to help him, they helped him on I Get Around, you know, and helped him get a radio commercial song. I Get Around was great. Keep Your Head Up was great. So Tupac had 2 commercial songs on the album, but the rest of the songs were awesome and amazing. They wanted to play off that and do a whole different type of record. Tupac put out Thug Style, which was the 3rd CD he came out with. That album was completely destroyed after he had the rape case. Plus the album, the studio heads was not happy with that album. And we know the album now because we have the album. It's called Are You Still Down? The Are You Still Down album. That's what was Thug Style. Now tell me how awesome is that album? The studios didn't like the album because they felt it was going away from what they were trying to do. Plus, Tupac only released certain songs to the studio. Then he turned over the entire CD to them, and it was almost like 20-something songs. But once the case came out, he had to agree to do the things he did so that they would have some money to back up their plans of what they wanted to do financially. So he went ahead and made the commercial album, which was Me Against the World, which is an introspective album. It's soft. He had to make a new image for himself so that people would see him. As you saw from the photographs and the album cover for that album. For Me Against the World. If you look at Me Against the World, you will understand everything. Look at the inside cover of everything in there. Everybody loves that album, and it was an introspective album. Tupac was making another Me Against the World before he perished and passed away. He already had songs in place that you've heard on the Machiavelli that was going to be on that album. Pac made that Me Against the World album because he needed to get commercial sales, because he needed money to pay for his lawyers in his case. He was going broke that he spent on all his lawyers. Tupac took the money, spent the money wisely. He paid off all his lawyers so he wouldn't owe anything. He had basically was tapped out, took his advance money, and everybody else had to help out. Like Tretch, Ice-T, so many people he reached for, they came out and helped him. But there's one person that didn't help him. John Singleton. And that's why he said he's a sucker. He turned his back on him. George Dos Santos, if you want to stay in this chat, be respectful or you will be out of here. Believe me, we have no problem with kicking people out of this chat room. If you don't like Tupac, don't watch the video. Get out. So yeah, Biggie was gonna sign with Tupac. And was supposed to be in Thug Life. And that's why Pac said he was upset. He was like, man, you was supposed to be in Thug Life. And now you out here, and Puffy was doing his thing, but Puffy came along and made everything reality. When he actually got the label Bad Boy, first he was saying Bad Boy Records, but it wasn't a label yet. So Biggie was thinking, man, this Bad Boy thing really for real, you know. So he was rolling with Pac, like, look, I'm out here kicking it with Pac. Like, yeah, I'll be down with Thug Life, shoot, whatever, man. It's gonna give me some paper, man. I need some money. So Big was down with it. So when they was coming with the Bad Boy thing and they was cool with Puff, Pac could do his show, Big could come on stage and start rapping with him because he liked the way Biggie rapped. He knew Biggie was for real. Pac ain't gonna... Look, Pac know an MC when he see one. He knew Big is an MC, a rapper. Complete rapper beyond all recognition. He can throw down with the best of them. I mean, he put it in his mother's name, yeah. Is that what you trying to say, Big Al? Because Bad Boy's in his mama name? I'm hoping the Pac movie is good. I'm seeing a lot of inconsistencies in a lot of the story, so my expectations is not very high. Oh, Michael McCarthy, you're talking about Biggie's verses when he said like, "You look so good, I suck on your daddies." You know what? That's to wake you up. That's those. That's called shock rap. It's called shock rap. See, that's when people just listening to the rhymes and you're not really paying attention. That wakes you up when you hear that. Because you probably be hearing it. When I first met you, I thought my idea was the trick. You look so good, huh? I sucked on your daddies. Whoa. You be like, whoa. Now you paying attention to the song. Because that's just a shock. Right. It makes you go, whoa. Now you paying attention to the song. Now he got you. Now, but you know what that means. That means she looks that good that he's willing to do something like that. That means she must look drop dead gorgeous. Oh man. No. Okay, somebody just got here late. Let's go and reiterate everything that we just covered with the Ruthless Records thing. For those who just got here late in the chat, this is what we went through. Because we're 20 minutes in already, and let's recap. Ruthless Records with Eazy E was going through a transition at this time. They were looking for more acts, more artists. Tupac, who was always friends with Above the Law, everybody in that group, so he was already cool and working with them, and he already had a group he was coming out with his thing with Thug Life. He was working on getting a deal, and they were shopping it around to say, look, I got a group, we want to try to get a deal going, and he wanted to get his label thing going, but Interscope was acting flaky. So Priority Records wanted to come in, and then it was Acko and somebody else. So they ended up going to do their own thing. Eazy E wanted to sign them through Ruthless, but they went without Ruthless and went through a whole new channel and just went with Priority, Acko, and a couple of other labels where they didn't do it with Ruthless Records, and they basically jumped in on what Eazy E was working on all again. They doing it again. They overstepping their boundaries, and they going right over the head of Eazy E. And they went around him to do it. But he wanted to have Tupac label, his group, Thug Life, on Ruthless Records. Just like Above the Law was on Ruthless, he wanted Thug Life on Ruthless. Because Tupac was already signed with Interscope, but his group, Thug Life, wasn't. So he wanted to have them signed on Ruthless Records. But Biggie was supposed to join Tupac on Thug Life and be in the group Thug Life. He told him he was going to be there. So Eazy E would have had Tupac and Biggie on Ruthless Records on Thug Life. Eazy was an innovator. He was a very smart man. His only problem was loyalty. Now, Dr. Dre complained about being broke. Shouts out to Germany. Dre thing always complained about being broke. Dre was in a mansion that was paid for. Dre had all this stuff laid out for him. Only thing Dre wanted was to be the boss now. He wanted somebody, he just wanted to make music, get paid, and don't have to do nothing no more for the rest of his life. That was Dr. Dre. Dre was completely lazy when it came to work. He would spend all his time working on a beat, one beat, and everybody else chipping in, and Dre would come in and put some mixes on it and try to get his money on. Dre got money, he got lazy. And when Dre get comfortable and get lazy and just want to work on something, he gets bored with something and then he wants to go do something else. That was him. People don't realize Dr. Dre gained he was at 300 pounds plus. He didn't even come outside. You didn't even see Dr. Dre for a long time before he went over to Ruthless Records. And before they did the Niggas for Life album, when they did that album, he was just starting to lose weight. He was going through a whole depression thing. He was drinking and doing all this crazy stuff. Dre was over there about 300 pounds. And right when they was doing the Niggas for Life album and all that, that's when you saw Dre. He was still big. He was trying to come down. And then he started working on the Chronic and doing that other stuff. Because he wanted to do a whole new sound before he was going over there to Dr. Dre. To Death Row. Pac came in disrespectful. He came in very disrespectful to Dre when he knew Dr. Dre before. Tupac is in the video with Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. Tupac's the one at the end that shoots Ice Cube in the window. Tupac is in the video. Natural Born Killers. He the one that shoots Ice Cube in the window. He's the guy. Yeah, right. The people was like, yeah, that was Tupac. I'm like, yeah, Tupac knew them. Suge Knight tried to get Tupac to join Death Row back then. And he told Suge, nah, you got too many stars over there right now. Nah, that's too many stars over there. I can't come over there. So he never wanted to join Death Row. Suge Knight paid him $300,000 anyway for one song that I don't even think they used for the soundtrack. That life's so hard on a nigga when you're living like a G. Dr. Dre took a lot of things with him when he left. Eazy E recruited DJ Quick. DJ Quick was this guy now. Because Dr. Dre wasn't doing nothing, so Quick was his guy. He had DJ Quick doing everything in there. He had Quick doing the Penthouse Players Click. He had him doing his own thing with his own album coming out. Because when he do it just like Compton and all that, he was going to have him doing the mixing and beats for everything. He was going to put NWA back together. But MC Ren and Eazy E had a falling out that Eazy couldn't move for a while until he switched everything over from Priority Records to, they got a new distributor, which was Relativity Records. They got a new deal, which was much better, more money for everybody. There's Relativity Records. Because Priority wasn't making Ruthless their priority anymore. Ruthless brought them through the door, and by them having that racist owner, that's just it. He came in and he was like, look, I gave gangster rap a chance. No, you knew gangster rap was going to sell. That's why you came through the door and gave him that deal. They had another deal on the table they probably should have took, and they would have came out a lot better. But Priority didn't have anything.
Man, you already know it is, Mr. HBO. Fresh fly flash at all times, man. Shout out to Box Associates, man.
They all right.